food inflation. Food costs is one of the things weighing on discretionary spending. We did a little research. I'm looking right here. Juices, they're up 29% year over year. Steaks up 11%. But then on the other side, eggs are down 29%. Seafood's down 4%. So a lot of different moves there. But overall, grocery prices up 1% year over year. Give us a sense. What consumers does that impact? How does it impact them?
Yeah, so really when we see a lot of the pressures coming, especially from food, and then we also have the housing pressure, you're looking at the lower income and the middle income consumer. And the first things, to first purchase is food.
Right.
So that becomes a priority. We are still seeing the consumer spend on entertainment. If it's food at restaurants, that's also still expensive, right?
Right.
So this is the priority for the consumer. So that leaves your discretionary spend to be much more cautious and do I really need this? Is this where I'm going to spend? We're looking at wellness to be key. So those are the categories. If that category has function, if it falls within wellness, that's where we see the consumer spend right now.
So you're saying that this food inflation is really impacting the middle class, working class consumer, but on the other end, the higher income consumer, they're still spending on luxury. Their discretionary spend, that hasn't been impacted at all.
We haven't seen too much on that end. As previous weeks we had LVMH, we have Hermes. Those two did really well. Again, the luxury sector has been performing differently because they have different strategies going forward. There's some of the luxury companies that are suffering, but that customer still is spending. And again, also entertainment, but if there's great product out there.
All right, so you said this earnings season, the retailer that we really need to watch is TJX because they actually, in real time, they have more ability to adjust their inventory. So when we get this result from TJX, what should we be looking for? What signals about the consumer can it give us?
Yeah, with TJX, one, we could see how home is doing. So last year, we started seeing green shoots with soft home. So again, because it's still tough with housing, we could see a spend with small things you could decorate in the house, not the big tickets. Right. And we'll see that with home goods likely again this quarter. You could also see where they're spending more if it's beauty. Now, as you said, with TJX, they're able to easily flex where the consumer interest lies. They've expanded that beauty category massively in terms of skincare, in terms of wellness, whatnot. So we like that. In other terms, again, back to work, that's where we'll also maybe see some of that.
I want to ask you about something else. In the retail world, you guys call it Hardlines. It's like appliances, big screen TVs, things like that. Yesterday, we had the Whirlpool CEO here on CNBC, and you mentioned housing a short time ago as well. He talked a bit about how housing is impacting consumer discretionary spending. Take a listen.
Replacement is very strong, even growing, which is a result of what we always talked about. With COVID and post-COVID, the usage is higher, and that basically reduces the life of an appliance. So replacement is very strong and will remain strong for a couple of years. It's the discretionary side, housing-related and consumer sentiment, which has been soft for ever since the mortgage rates increased.
Yeah, he went on to say, higher interest rates overall are kind of impacting that consumer discretionary spend. So in your mind, when we get the Fed cuts, does that reverse this trend in this situation? Do we need multiple cuts? What creates a big change when it comes to the retail sector?
I think the way we look at it in quite simple terms, if we're moving houses, we need those bigger items. If you're not moving houses, we're staying safe with what we have. At the moment, you hear from Home Depot, we'll likely hear it from Lowe's as well. Do it yourself. If it's a really big project, that's being put on hold. So what I do like about Home Depot and what I see about Lowe's and broader retail strategy with a lot of the retailers, they've become much more strategic with inventory and operation. So the moment that does kick back up, I think they're well positioned to gain.